to Paint or Make Love 2005. An affluent middle-aged couple's uneventful lives are forever changed when they move into an isolated house in the country and befriend an odd younger couple, happily married, faithful to each other and still very much in love. The middle-aged couple of the early retired meteorologist William Lasserre and his successful businesswoman wife Madeline enjoy a well-ordered life now that their only daughter has moved to Italy. But Madeline is also a skillful painter, and during one of her usual walks in the Alpine Vecco region, not only will she stumble upon the town's sophisticated blind mayor Adam, but also the picturesque rural farmhouse that would become the pair's new dream home. Obviously, things couldn't be better for the Lasserres. However, when calamity strikes Adam and his charming young wife Eva, it's only natural that the disaster-stricken neighbors would taste a slice of William and Madeline's warm and lavish hospitality just until they get back on their feet. Viaggio Celebrity presents top 10 movies like to paint or make love. Number 10. Swingtown 2008. The summer of 1976, the Miller family relocated to more affluent neighborhood in the North Shore, a suburban area of Chicago. Bruce is a future trader working his way up in the business, married to Susan. Susan is a homemaker who gets pregnant and married Bruce in high school. The couple have a teenage daughter Lori and a young son Bruce Jr., nicknamed BJ. Tom and Trina are their new neighbors. Tom, an airline pilot, met Trina while she was a stewardess. Tom and Trina quickly befriend Susan and Bruce, and they just as quickly learn that Tom and Trina have an open marriage. The move strains Susan and Bruce's friendship with Roger and Janet, their more conservative neighbors and friends from their old neighborhood. They try to maintain their friendship with the Susan and Bruce, but Roger and Janet are appalled. When they learn about Tom and Trina's marital arrangement, Roger and Janet have a son Rick, although the show mostly focuses on the three couples. Swingtown is a brave, entertaining and fresh series. It is good to see something that takes its audience seriously and that is not filled with violence. The cast makes a wonderful job of bringing the good script to life, and in the hand of the professional production design from the 70s, this series is a good example of American drama when it's really great. Number 9. Marriage Killer 2019. A married couple decide to explore a members-only nightclub, but quickly realize the deadly consequences of their actions. Robert and Morgan have been married for 20 years. They have a teen daughter, beautiful home, self-employed, nice cars and great friends. Everything they have ever wanted. Except that after all these years, their love life is idle. Until they decide to join a members-only private club where they meet Isabel, a beautiful, edgy and manipulative woman who is not afraid to express her attraction towards married couples. Unbeknownst to them, Robert and Morgan embark on a journey that will test their marriage to the limit and threaten to lose everything they have ever worked for, including their lives. The psycho of the week is a pretty woman, former fat girl. She zeroes in a grumpy married couple played by Bobby Castro and one of the London brothers. They make a mistake of having a threesome with her, and she won't let go and starts causing havoc. It's quite entertaining and watchable. The consequences are quite devastating for the family. It's good they have some background motivation for the Waco. Number 8. Swingers 2002. Despite Diana's insecure nature, she and her husband Julian agree with the idea to experiment with another couple. They put out an ad on the net to which the well-experienced Alex and Timo react. We follow Diana and Julian as they prepare for the arrival of Alex and Timo, who they have invited to their home for the weekend. Diana is nervous, as soon as she is confronted with the self-confident and ravishingly handsome Alex, her insecurity increases even more. Timo seems disinterested, a sharp contrast to the boyish excitement of Julian. But as night falls and the love exploration begins, we notice Timo may not be as casual as he initially seemed, and Diana on the other hand contains hidden strength. And so we realize there's more to swingers than just love. Swingers, could your relationship stand the test? Especially the first part of Swinger is mouth-watering. It starts with Julian who screams up his confidence while saving, but it really starts to get interesting from the moment Timo and Alex arrive at the house. How to act when you meet your date for the first time, knowing you will have some steamy moment with for the weekend. Number 7. Newness 2017. In contemporary LA, two 20-something millennials, Martin, a pharmacist, and Gabby, a physiotherapist, spend their weekend swiping on a dating app. The options are endless, but it's less about connection and more about hooking up. But when they meet, they find themselves talking into the early hours, connecting. It's exciting, it's new. They mysteriously regain their feeling and fall in love. Exhilarated by each other, they rush into a relationship. They go out on dates. They move in together. They skip work to make love. But soon the relationship becomes boring and they decide to try an open relationship. This film isn't for everybody. If you are a millennial or maybe older but open-minded, or if you are just empathic enough, you will understand the feeling this film aims to pass. It's not about the character, promiscuity, or dating app relationship. It's about doubt and excitement and fear of losing freedom. And that moment when you meet someone new and you are talking, flirting, it's very exciting. You are having a really good time. And then if you decide to take one step forward, you have to face the baggage that person carries. Past, exes, fears, traumas. Number 6. Open Marriage 2017. To save their struggling marriage, Becca and Ron reluctantly agree to an open relationship with their friends Mindy and Max. Though their passion is rekindled, they don't expect the jealousy, heartbreak and betrayal that soon follow. Ron and Becca are facing stresses in their marriage. Some of those stresses are financial, as Ron, who owns a small construction business, had been on disability, it which ran out 2 months ago, with he not yet returning to work, leaving Becca, a nurse, as the sole breadwinner, she needing to do double shift to keep their heads above water. Ron also flips properties. Becca, who is getting tired of not ever having a sense of having a home instead of just an investment. And they have been trying to have a baby. Their attempts so far unsuccessful despite Becca talking fertility drugs. They learn from their wealthy best friend Max and Mindy, all four who have known each other since college, that they saved what was their own troubled marriage about a year ago when they decided to have an open relationship. In what is Max and Mindy's proposition to them, Ron and Becca, who admit that the thought of love with others has improved their own love life, although they had never actually contemplated acting on such a fantasy, agree to an open marriage with them on Max and Mindy's caveat that they as a couple only play together, with Ron and Becca adding their own caveat solely between the two of them that they will stop if either one want to stop, no question asked. Ron and Becca will find that although they are enjoying their time with Max and Mindy, the open relationship does not fix existing issue in their life. Number 5. Fortnight in the Hamptons 2014. A married couple of 6 years invite an old friend and his new free-spirited girlfriend to their Hampton summer home for a long weekend. Emotions and desires are stirred, but in ways none of them expected. Julie and David have been married for 6 years. Julie is needing a spark to ignite their passion. They once had, and when she runs into their mutual old friend Mark and his new free spirit girlfriend Catherine, Julie invites them back with the hopes of stirring things up. David and Mark's relationship is ambiguous to say the least, and Catherine's free spirit is infectious. Julie and David soon find themselves questioning who they are and how they feel about marriage and relationship, and wondering what if. You'd have to be very unhappy and hopelessly jaded to not enjoy this film, or perhaps just too young to understand anything about it. I was intrigued from beginning to end and completely mesmerized by the stunning cinematography, the beautifully naturalistic scripting and acting, as well as the absolute beauty of all four characters and actors. This is an intense study on the fragility of the human spirit, the bargaining and compromising of coexistence, and the depth and complexity of the constant reckoning of our lives we face daily by the hour. Number 4. Pleasure or Pain 2013. Victoria is a beautiful young woman who is just beginning to get a bit of success as a jewelry designer in Los Angeles. One day she met the handsome and wealthy entrepreneur Jack. He managed to seduce her with an irresistible combination of charm and sensuality. With him, everything is better and more intense than she has ever experienced. She wants to do everything to make her lover happy. He keeps on going with his love games, and he immerses her in a world of romance that she didn't even know existed. But after a while, the adventure becomes too much. Directed by Zalman King, who's that you ask? He brought us to Moon Junction, Wild Orchid, Red Shoe Diaries, and assisted Adrian Lyne in making 958. Pleasure or Pain is his last directorial effort before he croaked. Contrary to his other films, this one starred lava-melting hot Melina Morgan and also L. Alexander, Hayden Hawkins, Kyla Zane, and Aubrey Adams. Now you might be thinking this fact would mean that it's a lot more explicit than say 50 Shades of Grey, but it certainly is not. The love scenes are pretty short and you hardly see anything like in most other soap movies. Worst of all is that they aren't very erotic either, which should at least be the point of this film, but there it falls short. Though she looks gorgeous, Melina is not a great actress. Well, nobody in this film is, but they are better at other things, lucky for them. Some credit to the director of photography who did a fairly good job with the lighting and such, but it doesn't matter. Number 3. You Deserve a Lover 2019. After Remy infidelity, Leela, who loved him more than anything, has a hard time dealing with their breakup. One day he announces that he will travel alone to Bolivia to soul search and try to understand his mistakes. There he lets her know that their love story is not over. Between discussions seeking for comfort and encouragement from her friends and the madness of love, Leela loses herself. You Deserve a Lover begins with a tense discussion between Leela and Remy, her boyfriend, who had distanced himself from her to think about the future of the relationship, a relationship that will suffer uncertain fate. In her debut feature, the director Hafiza Harzi will accompany Leela in this uncertain duel of love that she finds it difficult to give up in her attempt to distance herself from a clearly manipulative and narcissistic boyfriend. With the support of some friends, however, she does not close in on herself and begin to explore the possibility of other ties. The film exudes simplicity and naturalness, presents well-defined characters with few strokes and flows with dialogue as fresh as they are eloquent, making it clear that the duel is often not a linear process. I dare to assure that its theme, its fluidity and its dynamic inscribe the film. Number 2. The Canyons 2013. When Christian, an elite trust fund kid with casual ties to Hollywood, learns of a secret affair between Tara and the lead of his film project, Ryan, He spirals out of control and his cruel mind games escalate into an act of bloody violence. Christian uses his family money to produce movies by day. He is about to start the production of a low-budget slasher flick in New Mexico starring Ryan, the handsome boyfriend of his assistant, the pretty Gina. But unbeknownst to him, Tara was involved with Ryan a few years ago. Christian, meanwhile, is having a fling on the side with pretty Cynthia, a yoga instructor, who used to take acting classes with Ryan. The Kenyan portray a collection of characters deceiving and manipulating each other to distract from the emptiness of their lives. Chief among them is a sociopathic film producer Christian, whose jaded girlfriend Tara reluctantly consents to the parties he arranged with random internet strangers. After Tara helped a former boyfriend Ryan get the lead role in Christian's new movie, they resume their old affair, despite Ryan having a girlfriend called Gina who is also working on the film. Christian grows increasingly suspicious of Tara's fidelity outside the group love dynamic and has her followed by a slacker private eye, while he hooks up with a former assistant who is also an old girlfriend of Ryan. Number 1. Before We Grow Old 2019. A young couple with an open long-term relationship engaged in a three-way relationship with Chloe in the free-spirited city of Berlin. Niels and Maria in their mid-20s have been a couple for 2 years. Their relationship is open flirt and adventure determine their carefree everyday life. It is summer. They are without obligation and live free of rent at his wealthy uncle's apartment. They live into the day without worries, go to parties and like to test the common seduction skills in public. And yet both deal with it differently, both have their own individual tolerance and limits. This becomes clear at the latest when they meet Chloe, a London doctoral student on a train. Maria takes the first step and so a flirt quickly develops into an intense romance between the two women. Niels soon joins them and she increasingly becomes an integral part of their lives. The three young people let themselves go according to the Berlin free spirit and plunge into one or the other love adventure. Without any worries and hardships, they question the common moral concept and live in here and now. After initial complication, the trio experiences a carefree time together,